What is going on? I am here, the Quehanna Trail. Not doing an overnighter, not doing a two-nighter. I'm doing 5, maybe 7 days. The 71-mile trail, according to the new map. 71 to 75 miles probably total, with all of the vistas and any side little trails I might want to do. I'm at Parker Dam State Park. Got this cool little kiosk here with logging industry information on it. Now I'm going to put the Exos to the test. This thing weighs 37 pounds right now. Most of it is food. There's no resupplies on this trail. This giant 70-ish mile loop. It starts here at the state park, goes out into the Moshannon State Forest, into the Quehanna Wild Area, which is the biggest wild area in the state, 50,000 acres. And then it cuts into part of the Elk State Forest as well, and loops around and comes back to right here. Well, behind me it comes in. I had been worried about water the past couple of weeks as I was planning this, but we have had rain, and you kind of see the sun shining right now, but it was raining when I pulled in. It poured all the way out here. Pouring rain. Made the drive fun. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful spot. So the plan is 10 to 15 miles a day. Put me in at 5 to 7 days, depending on how much I want to stay out here. I may at some point short a day. I want to spend an extra night out here, probably towards the end of the trip. History stone. What's this? I'll check this out. Old rock chisel. Wow. The dam here at the state park they built with the stone that they chopped out of here by hand. That's nuts. All right, so I think it's enough talking. I'm gonna hike a lot. Not sure if this, probably not gonna be one video. It's probably be a series. I have been out here before. I was on this trail twice. The first time I came out here to scout to see the elk, which there's a good chance I might run into. Got about 1.5 miles or 2 miles in on this trail. I just had crossed into the state forest and I broke my trekking pole. These are the replacements to those trekking poles I brought out here. And I also, the pole was no big deal, but that's when I used to hike with the hydro bladder. And I left the hydro pack in the car the day before, and it got really warm. And I got algae in the reservoir. And I got about 2 miles in before I sucked some in through the hose. I was like, okay, time to turn around. So I'm back to the park. Second time I came out was Rocco. And we did like, I don't know, something like a 16 or 17 mile out and back. We started the West Cross connector, and then we camped and turned around and came back. That was almost exactly 6 years ago. It was the first week of September in 2016, and 52 backpacking trips ago. It was the first time either of us had done like an actual backpacking trip, and it was brutal. So I'm gonna get some miles here. It is just about 10 o'clock maybe. 10:05. 10:05 hitting the trail. Today'll probably be a short day, I'm assuming. It's kind of off and on rain they're calling for. But then after that, not until, it's Thursday today, so not until Sunday are they calling for rain again, chances of rain. So if I can get through today relatively dry, I should be in good shape. But all right, orange blazes for me for next week on the Quehanna Trail. I am glad I stopped about 5 minutes ago and put my rain cover on the backpack. It is raining. I was trying to pull a weather. I had a little over here. I was trying to pull a weather. I had a little bit of signal, and I just saw a flash of a storm coming on the screen. I couldn't tell if it was like a ghost from earlier when I pulled weather, or if it was what was on its way. So I'm like, yeah, I'll put the cover on. And it's raining. If it's that storm, looks like it might rain for 20 minutes or so. I'm already sweating. I don't know if I'll put my rain gear on. I don't feel like taking my pack off again to grab it. And I'm just gonna sweat in that anyway. But if it gets any harder than this, I might. Well, good thing I got the sealskins on. Oh, sank on both sides. There's a bunch of these little bridges through here. I wonder why there's not one there. Lots of boardwalks in this section. I don't remember these last time I was out here. I don't think they were here. But all right, I'm gonna see what this rain does. According to what I was able to pull, not radar wise, but just weather wise, looks like it's gonna rain off and on till about 2 and then start to clear up tonight. I did stop at the office. It is worth noting that you got to register if you're going to do this trail. They don't charge, but you're parking in the state park, and they just want to, they keep an eye on your vehicle, and then they check and make sure. If you say you're going to be out in, 5 days and your car's there 6 days later, they reach out to your emergency contacts, so just for safety. But yeah, while I was in there, the ranger was nice enough to pull up the weather and showed that it shouldn't be too bad until maybe Sunday or Monday, where there's another chance of rain. But today definitely getting wet. But that's backpacking, that's what happens. As long as it doesn't get too cold, I'm good, and I can keep my gear dry. That's really all I'm concerned about. I do have extra clothes. I did add camp shoes to my pack after I did that video about what I was taking with me. Just those water shoes I got in the beginning of the year, threw those in here just so I got something different, so if I need to, I can let my boots dry. But I do have my sealskins on. I've got my rain hoodie and my rain kilt. But if it's gonna stop at like 2 or somewhere around there, that'll give me enough time to dry, and I got spare clothes, and I'm already wet, so it doesn't really matter. I guess that's the point I'm trying to make. It doesn't really matter. I'm not sure what creek that is. But I am squarely in the Moshannon State Forest now. Crossing that a while ago. You're only in the state park for a little bit. I'll be in the Moshannon for most of the day. I think there's a spot where I will cross into state game lands. I think it's number 34, but you can't camp in there. So That's at like mile 5 or 7 or something like that. But you're only in there for a little while, and then you kick back out into the Moshannon State Forest. And then tomorrow is probably when I'll cross into the Quehanna wild area. Wow. I know it's raining, but it is still beautiful out here. So I looked it up on the map. This is Little Laurel Run, and that's gorgeous. That's really, really, really pretty. I can hear something making noise off here in the woods. I can't tell if it's just with the rain dropping through the trees and the creek there. I can't tell if it's just a bird or if it's I don't know. There is a possibility. It is the elk rut. I think it's just the beginning of the elk rut. So there is a possibility I will hear some elk bugling out here. Maybe not on the southern half of this, but once I get up into the Quehanna wild area and start making the turn out there, yeah, definitely might run across some elk and hopefully hear some bugle. That's one of the reasons why I'm out here. So I want to do this so late in the year. Yeah, I'm sure this is gorgeous in the summer. But I think this is pretty gorgeous right now. I can't get enough of this Little Laurel Run. This is beautiful. Every time the trail kind of kicks down to it, it's like a completely different stream. Now that's pretty spot on with that rain too. It rained for almost exactly 20 minutes. So that must have been the cell I saw pop up on the screen real quick and then disappear. There's definitely some color out in those trees. I am at my first road crossing, about 2.3 miles in, maybe 2.5. I didn't start the GPS track immediately when I got on that trail, I forgot. Pretty sure, if I remember correctly, go up this way a little bit. There is no blaze on the road. I'm gonna walk up here for a second. Oh, there's blaze right there. All right, so I'm going the right way. And that looks like a turn right here, maybe. Right, this little post. There it is. All right, back in the woods we go. Can you hear my osprey squeaking? Keeps me company. Did it survive? I just threw you right on the ground. Okay, I'm at my next trail crossing here. Actually, not my next one. You zigzag across that road twice that I crossed before, but now get to the next spot here, and there's a parking lot. Okay, I couldn't remember. I think this goes back to a hunting cabin. I think that's what that gate's for. Yeah, but there's definitely orange blaze here, and it's a good sized parking lot. I don't remember it being this big. I thought it was just like a little road. This definitely looks new from last time I was here, at least the concrete does. But the kiosk with trail information. Here we are. So we are on the Quehanna Trail, South Loop. This is the cutoff trail. So this takes you across to the north end if you wanted to make it a shorter loop. But I'm not doing that. No, 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 no. I'm going the long way around. All right, I've made it to McGeorge Road. Rocco, you'll get a kick out of this. An hour and 54 minutes to get here. It felt like it took us all day to get here. We took the road, walked around down the road maybe a mile to the West Cross connector where we had lunch, and then we camped shortly after that. We were beat up. That's the difference, like 6 years and 52 backpacking trips will make. I just took my first sip of water as I got to that sign. But since we skipped this little section, we weren't really too concerned about like doing the proper trail. I am this time because I'm through hiking the entire Quehanna Trail. So I'm going blaze to blaze. I won't take the shortcut road. Just came out over there. Heading in up here. So what the West Cross connector, boom, boom, right here, is that way. Actually, I guess this is where it technically starts. Goes that way. We followed down there. 15 miles from here. So about 20 miles total if you continue around. So that's not a bad little loop. And then we're heading this way on the QT. The QT. Cabin over there. Everything from here on out is brand new to me on the Quehanna Trail. When Rocco and I were out here, I'm only 200 yards down from that road crossing. This is where we came down to, but that's really slippery. This is where we came down to get water. And then we turned around and went back up to the West Cross connector. So as of right now, I'm on a new section of the Quehanna Trail. I mean, so I've seen part of it. I mean, there's only like 67 miles of it I haven't seen, so it's even worth doing. My plan is 6 miles or 1 p.m. I'll stop for lunch. When I get to 6 miles, I start approaching 6 miles, I'll start looking for like a not used campsite, or maybe just a spot with a clearing where I can just set up for a little bit, make my lunch, take my shoes off, take a little break, and then move on. I'm currently at 4.8 miles, and it's 20 after 12. So, I got a little bit of time yet. I'm gonna guess that is slippery as snot. Oh yeah. Yeah. You don't want to come running down that hill. Can't get over the color of these ferns. The sun hits them just right. They're really cool. This is swampy. Alright, so I stopped, it's about maybe 10 after 1. Found this little spot, almost 6.5 miles. I'm just about to drop into my first draft here, so I figured I'd stop before I go down and eat my lunch. Interesting thing about this trail, you're not climbing mountains, you're not descending and climbing mountains, it's a plateau, and everything we see here, that's not a hill on the other side, it's not a mountain on the other side, it's just the rest of the plateau. And all these streams and creeks and little rivers and stuff have cut these hollows, these drafts into the plateau. So all the ascents and descents are to get off of and back up onto the plateau. Kind of cool. I thought I was going to get hit with weather. I was able to pull a radar before and it looked like there was a storm coming. It got real dark and now the sun's starting to come out again. So I think I'm okay. That's why I went a little further than I was expecting, because I didn't want to be, I was out in like an opening out there and I didn't want to be out there if weather was rolling in. So I've got some couscous cooking right here. I'm just gonna have the couscous, I'm not gonna put the turkey in there. I'll save that. Just the couscous. Feeling pretty good. I passed my first thru hikers about a mile back and they started an hour before I did, so I'm doing pretty good on time. They joked that they may have brought too much stuff. I can sympathize. I know what that feels like on this trail. And all of a sudden you think, oh, it's pretty flat, and you get a little ways in, you're like, oh no, this is too much. Brought too much. I'm gonna keep an eye on the weather. There are spots out here where I can pull signal. Not really enough to send any messages apparently, but I can pull some weather. They said they were planning on doing a trail in 4 days, trying to be out by Sunday, which you can do. It's a lot of long days. It's 4 long days. It's fall, so it doesn't get bright particularly early, and it gets dark at around 7, so you don't have a lot of hours. I'm thinking 5, but if the weather changes, if the ranger told me Sunday, Monday, Tuesday looks like rain, so I'm gonna go as far as I can today. It's 20 after 1 right now. I'll just rest for a little bit, and then I'll go as far as I can, see how many miles I get. I mean, I'm at almost 7, so I might be able to do 15 today, maybe a little bit more. I guess it depends on how these drafts are, how many I gotta do. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if I want to try bang this out in 4 days. I'm kind of enjoying it. But I also, if it's gonna be just rain all day Sunday, that's gonna be hard to stay dry for Sunday into Monday. So I'll just play it by ear. Either way, I'm loving it. This is great. Very peaceful. All right, my couscous is ready. Man, you can't smell that, but it's like garlic and olive oil mix in there. Oh, it smells so good. So good. And I forgot how fast the Pocket Rocket boils water. This is done in like 5 minutes, the whole thing. So I'm gonna eat that. Now that I smell it, I'm starving. Yeah, looks good. All right. It's about a little after 1:30. I didn't stop as long as I really wanted to, but I think that weather's starting to catch up to me. The wind really picked up, and I'm a little sweaty and damp, and it's not really warm out, and I started getting cold. So here's time to hit the trail into my first draft. Also, if it starts pouring, I don't want to be going down this if it gets muddy. That's pretty vertical. Straight out. Yep. All right, both hands on both poles for this one. So many ferns. That's a good look at the angle of what just came down. This came from up there. Yeah, definitely don't want to go down that when it's muddy. That was tricky as it is. These rocks are slick. What a difference 10 minutes makes. That storm cell blew right past me. This is cool. A little lopsided, it was pretty cool. This is either Trout Run or a tributary of Trout Run. I should have stopped down here for lunch. Wow. This is incredibly beautiful. That boulder's like, I don't know, 10 to 12 feet tall. Look at a tree bowing out, it's holding it up. It's nuts. So the sun looks like it wants to stay out now. I'm gonna have to start keeping my eyes and my ears peeled for snakes. The Quehanna Trail does have a little bit of a reputation for timber rattlers. So these bouldery areas, actually anywhere along here, just gonna keep my eyes peeled and use my sticks. There's boulders all throughout this. There's another big one up there. Gorgeous. I'm about to head into state game lands, number 34. Shouldn't be too far down the trail. I'll see if I can find there should be some kind of marking on a tree or something when I get there. The Quehanna Trail goes through those game lands for, looks like a mile, maybe 2 miles. And in that section, there is no camping. So if you're out here, just be aware. I'll give you my on-trail mileage when I get that spot and tell you where. Wow, there's another big one. It's the size of a school bus. That's huge. All right, I just pulled my map and see if I was close to the state game lands, and I realized I was right on this boulder is the border, the state game lands 34. I don't, oh yeah, that might be Blaze right there. It's a kind of splotchy mark right there, maybe right there, and I could see it on the tree up by the boulder from this direction. I can see one way up in the woods. So right in there, that tree right there is a splotch. So I'm at 6.8 on my watch. Figure it's probably more like 6.9, right on about the 7 mile mark. You head into State Game Lands 34 from here until well, probably about 7, so probably about 9 miles. There's no camping. There's no markings there, and I would imagine there. I thought there would be. I thought there'd at least be a small placard or something like that says, you know, State Game Lands, no camping in section trail, but there's nothing there. Another big boulder. Boulder Alley right here. There's another one coming up on the right. This is gorgeous in here. Got some more clouds rolling over. I imagine this is stunning when the sun's out. I think I'm about halfway through, maybe almost halfway through the State Game Lands, Game Land section here. I haven't really looked at the map, but once it came down off the plateau into this draft, I've just stayed down here, kind of skirting back and forth up against this creek. Gorgeous. This whole section since that last stream crossing has just been boulders and boulders and boulders and boulders. It's so cool. Like, I don't even know, taking pictures of them, and I don't even know what to look at. These are gorgeous. And that one is like the size of a one-story house. It's huge. There's more. Past a boulder, another boulder. Look right there, white splotch in that tree. Oh, here we go. Come right up to one up here. So what did I say back there? Looked like 1.5 miles to 2 miles of State Game Lands. It is 8.54 miles. So from 7 miles to 8.54, so about 1.5 miles. pretty good guess by the map. And in that section I just did no camping. It is game land, so just always be careful. I mean, it's state forest, so there could be hunting out here too. And of course I usually have orange, so that's not a real big deal. But just always be aware of your surroundings. So we're gonna turn here and head up, and should be, so I'm 8.5, should be 3 miles from the next road, if the map and my GPS are syncing up. Check out all these mushrooms. So when I get to the next road crossing, I'll know. I think on the map they have it marked at like 11.8. So if I'm even close to that with my watch, I know my miles and the map miles are lining up, so that'll be good. But yeah, I think I climb up out of this kind of gradually, and I get back up on the plateau, I think. It's like 2:45. So my thoughts are hike till about 5. It gets dark at 7. Hike till about 5 and see where I am. And if I'm close to 15 miles, I'll just get that 15-mile point and then camp. If not, I'll find the first good campsite and make those miles up over the next couple of days. I was only thinking of doing about 9 miles today. This would be the place to camp. This is gorgeous. I think. Oh, there's a place. Yeah, okay. Look at the size of the tree. Massive, big trees down there. Look at the bridge. Jeez, that is quite the step. You're better off doing this. There we go. So right past that bridge back there, there's a little swampy spot, and there was a track in the mud, and for a second I was like, moose? Could have been. There's no moose down here, Could have been an elk, but that'd be a big elk. It's probably just a boot print that got kind of sucked in the mud funny. But I couldn't see like a heel or toe. It was just like this one spot. It looked like a moose track. That would be something. So on the map, this is shown as a vista. You don't really get vistas, at least on this lower section, southern section. I don't think as much. You just get views out into the drafts. They're not as deep on the south side as they are up north, from what I can tell on the map. But well, there's a little view here. Looking down at the creek. Oh, this is all right. All right, I take that back. I count that as a vista. There's a pond down there. Is that the river? It's kind of dammed up. Maybe a beaver dam. So another little ecosystem out here. So the first real view, that hill I just came up, that snuck up on me hard. The guys I passed earlier just passed me, they're up ahead of me. And they said the same thing. They came up and they were like, oh, that's a killer. That's a killer. But it's all good. We're shooting for about the same distance, so might wind up leapfrogging them. They're doing a pretty good pace now. I stopped for like a half hour for lunch. And I slowed down in this last section because I'm over 10. I'm at like over 11 right now, actually. So there is water at like 14, like a creek, 14 or almost 15. But depending on the weather next couple days, this is my short day too. So if I can do 15 today, I might be able to do this in 4. And then if the weather doesn't go to crap on Sunday, maybe just take it easy on Sunday and split that into 2 days. I don't know, we'll see. They're trying to do it in 4, and they're out here from Ohio. It's the first time they've hiked anything out here, so they're enjoying it so far. It is a gorgeous trail. Now we're coming up to that road crossing, and we'll see how accurate my GPS is to the map. At the road crossing, the map says 11.8. Now watch says 12 on the nose, so it's close. I did leave the GPS running while I was sitting there for lunch, so it may have drifted a little. It's starting to rain, so gonna keep moving, and it's getting close to 5. It's 4:28, so I got a little bit of time before my timer, my head goes off. So it's just about 4:30. Go for another half hour. If I'm at 12, be at like 13 or so. We'll see. That's about where I thought I'd be at 5. And since this is my short day, I guess that's okay. I can make some miles the next couple of days if I have to. It's getting dark. This is pretty cool. On the map, this is marked with a C. This is an old Civilian Conservation Corps camp here. I don't see a lot of ruins, just that one foundation. That's cool. Twelve and a half miles. Gonna save that. That's all I'm doing today. I was able to get signal right about 3 minutes ago. Start to rain a little bit, so I stopped, just hiding under some pines, pulled signal, and that was like the very first edge of the storm. It's supposed to rain until like 11 o'clock now. So I was trying to get 15, but I'm not going to roll into camp soaking wet. And I'm not married to doing this in 4 days. I don't really care. So I will set up here. Got plenty of options here to hang, but I'm going to get this set up, get my tarp up at least, so when that rain picks up, I can be dry. It is now 5:35-ish, and it's not raining. So I could have hiked a little further. Turns out I start setting up the tarp, and the sun came out. I thought, all right, so it must be a break in the storm. So it started getting blue, and I looked at the weather again, and for some reason my phone decided to pull the weather for home, which is 3.5 hours east, and they're getting different weather than I'm getting here. It's still looking out that way. That looks like more rain coming anyway. And I was looking at stopping around 5 anyway, so I stopped a little bit short of 5. A little bit short of 5, but that's okay. So I didn't go to bed until 11:30 last night, and woke up at 3:30 thinking it was time to get up. I woke up and I looked at the clock and I was like, oh. I went back to sleep. I got up at 5, and we're having a crazy lightning storm. I want to be on the road by 6. Crazy thunder and lightning storm, and it was pouring. So I waited till about 6:30, something like that, before I left, and drove through some crazy weather. And it didn't start until 10 on the trail. So it's been a long day. So 12 miles is 12 point something, whatever I did. It's pretty good. This is my camp. It is not a established campsite at all. The trail is about 500 feet over that way. I crossed the creek. I saw this little grove of conifers over here of pines, and I came over here. It was kind of like that by the trail, and I probably could have set up over by the trail, but I didn't. It was right on the trail. I didn't want to do that. So I'm way up off the trail. I'm way back away from the water. It's gorgeous right here. And it's not that cold. But funny thing happens when you're backpacking and you stop. It's in the 60s probably. I gotta see if my thermo drops on my backpack. Let's go see. I'll show you the hammock set real quick. I got my Dyneema tarp, and then I got my hammock up underneath here. And I'm going to get in there in a minute and just kind of relax. Take my shoes off and just kind of relax. My thermo drop should be on here. My thermo drop should be... My thermo drop is on my other backpack. That sucks. Oh well. Things on my day pack. Things on my day pack. So, no big deal. I'll look for, maybe I might tucked it in one of the pockets, I don't know. But I'm wedged in between these trees here, and it'll work. As long as it doesn't get too windy, I think it'll be fine. And then tomorrow's supposed to be nice. So, we'll see. I might make food first. I need food. I can feel it. So I'll make some food. I'm going to make chili and rice. And I'll eat that. And I'll get in the hammock, and I'm going to probably be asleep early and up early. And then on the trail. And then I'll be able to make up the miles I didn't get today. Feeling better about my decision to stop when I did. Just as I started boiling the water for dinner, this started. So I was able to get the hammock set up, get all my camp chores done, all my camp chores, filter water, that's all I really had to do. And get dinner cooking before it rained. So good call, I think. time is it? It is 6 o'clock. Almost 6 o'clock. 5:53. So if I had pushed on to 15 miles, I'd probably just be setting up camp and it'd be raining. It'd be dark soon. It's already pretty dark in here. So I'm happy. Hopefully tomorrow's nicer and I can just crank out some miles. So far, I mean, this is only day one, but the bear canister has, I've used it twice now as a chair. I wasn't sure about it when I first threw the pack on. I could feel the bear canister through the back of the pack. And then I stopped to put the rain cover on, and I readjusted everything, and it didn't bother me anymore. So, really happy I brought that. Now I'm even happier I didn't bring a bear bag, because it'd be soaked. I would have it right here by me. It's really raining, man. Yeah, really glad I stopped. Wow. I hope those other guys made it to camp. They were trying to push for 16 miles. Alright, I'm going to check my food and listen to the rain and eat my chili. That's chili. Big difference from the Four Patriots meals. That's chili. I dehydrated it. Just boiled some water. Covered it with water, let it sit for 15 minutes, and I got chili. It's really, really good. And it's surprisingly dark for like 6 o'clock. Well, it's about 9 o'clock. I've just been chilling out in the hammock with some photos, and other than that, just laid here listening to the rain and the tarp. It's been nice, but I'm gonna get some sleep. That's gonna do it for today. Hopefully it's a little nicer weather tomorrow. We'll put in some miles. So, I'll see you next.